Alrighty. I think we're going. Gonna share out the stream to my Discord and stuff. Alrighty. Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Things all set? Hello. How's everyone doing today? It's a Sunday night, for me at least. I don't know what time it is for everyone else. There were some people here hanging out before I started. I saw you. Welcome, everyone. Awesome. I can hear. Yay. I don't have tech issues. At least not yet. This is much different. This is the first time I'm streaming from my actual PC, not just my laptop, which was kind of crappy and did not work very well. For streaming, at least. It did not have the best connection. Dog Monster, I'm doing good. It's been a bit of a tough few weeks. As I said in a community post, I've had some I don't know, rough weeks. Nothing really specific, just kind of, it's been stressful. Work and stuff has been a lot. But yeah, I'm doing alright. Feeling better. And I just kind of wanted to stream. I wanted to play some Minecraft and chat with some people. So that's what we're going to do. So I am really into different modded Minecraft packs. I use this launcher called CurseForge, and you can just download different packs that are made by different people. And there are a lot of really, really fun, good ones on there. But this is one, Stoneblock 2, that I have played just on my own before. But it's really fun, and it's kind of more of a grindy thing, but that's kind of what I figured would be really good for a chatting stream, because I'm just going to be sitting here doing some stuff. So I'll just jump into this world that I pre-created before. So Stoneblock is, if you guys have ever played Skyblock or seen Skyblock before, where you start on a little island and you have to, get resources from there. Stoneblock's based on the same concept, but instead of starting on a world or a floating island, you start underground. And everything is, as you can see, stone. And you have to basically use the modded additions in order to get your resources and everything. So let's start. So let's see. We have a pet rock, 5 stonium, 4 apples, we've got food, and then we have the quest book. So this is what tells you how to progress in this mod if you've never played it before. So this is the Stoneblock starter thing, starter map, quest map. So we got this first one. We have to get 16 stone pebbles, and in this mod, unlike in normal Minecraft, you can break stone with an empty hand, and it gives you stone pebbles. So this is how we start off, by mining stone with our bare fists. Oh yeah, Duck Monster just said my skin, whoops. Oh, I don't know why I have googly eyes, but here's my skin. I ignore the googly eyes. I don't know what's going on with that. But I made it, I edited a skin that I found online. It was, I think, blue originally, but now it is purple. I've got these cute ears kind of things. And underneath, let's turn off my that, and I just got a cute little shirt. on underneath. So it's the same skin, it's the same outfit that my my character wears on my channel. So this is like my little avatar, basically. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get into it, and this is gonna be just a very grindy, chatty stream, and kind of one of the things that I was thinking of, if you guys are so inclined, I've kind of been thinking about some of my AUs recently. So for backstory, I don't know if anyone's gonna remember this because it was a while ago, but about 2 years ago, I think, on my community tab, I posted an image of a little drawing that I did of a couple of the characters from my AU, my Roll Swap AU. And at the time, I had been working on it for a while, but I kind of fell off of it for a while. And then now, recently, my interest in the fandom actually kind of got rekindled after I recorded the video with Raven, which hopefully you guys have watched. That was our tier list video, and for that video, we both went in and rewatched the entire series to make sure that we had, our opinions were up to date. And after I did that, my interest in the fandom and the series again kind of just got rekindled, so I started wanting to write for it again. So I've been rewriting my Roll Swap AU, and now it just makes me think of all the other ones I've written. Duck Monsters, the Postal Up. It should be. I never took it down, but I do know that YouTube community posts can be a little weird when you try to go back and look for them. I don't exactly know. I mean, if you can find it, props to you. I don't, want to tell you one way or the other. But yes, you should be able to find it. Oops. Oh, I put my pet rock away. Oopsies. But yeah, so I don't know what everyone knows. Obviously, on my channel, I have all the posts from Fluffyuary, and I created a lot of just random AUs from that, which I've never really done anything with. And some of them were definitely more fleshed out in my mind than others. The Day 3, the Logents one, was definitely one that I had so much more in my mind, and it's kind of, you can kind of tell in the fic itself because it feels very rushed. At least to me, it's very clear in my eyes that I had a lot more that I wanted to put into it, that I just couldn't because I didn't have the time, as I was writing 28 different fics. But yeah, like the Logents one, very much based, that one's very much based on like Ouran High School Host Club, which is one of my favorite animes. But then I also have, beyond that, I also have the Demigod AU, which is also posted on this channel, and originally it was like going to be like an Ask blog on Tumblr, but I realized I'm not really an Ask blog person. I struggle with that because I don't really draw. It's something I want to get better at, but I just kind of don't. How do I make the chest again? I don't remember. I'm just going to I'm not really going to talk through the gameplay, just so everyone knows. I'm just kind of doing it in the background so you have something to watch in case, you want to. But someone asked about the pet rock. I've never actually, it's just here. I just have a pet rock. There we go. I've never messed with this mod before, so I have no idea. I don't know if I can make it sit or anything. Duck Monster says, I think I found it. There's a drawing of Remus wearing Patton's clothes. Yes, that's it. There you go. There you go. Yeah, it's a super old drawing, and it has been reworked since then. The fic has been. I'm basically rewriting it from scratch, but it's still really, really good. But then I also have a fic that I never actually read on the channel, so only people who have ever gone to my AO3 would know about it. But it is a low-seat Beauty and the Beast AU, which again, if I were ever to go back to it, I would need to rewrite it pretty much from scratch, because I kind of wrote myself into a corner with it. I did not really think it all the way through, and so it's kind of a mess. It's just a mess. But that one is really. Toby says, "I love the Beauty." Me too. I loved the Beauty and the Beast AU too, and I reworked it in my head, but I never wrote it down. Or I have it like recorded. In like Discord messages and stuff, but I never like posted it with the rewrite. Duck Monster says, "That sounds amazing. Please rewrite it and reread it." You know, if I didn't have a full-time job, I'm sure I would have the time, but unfortunately I don't. I certainly can talk through it if people want me to here. I certainly can do that. Got another Invar hammer. I got a resonant jetpack? Dang. I can't charge it right now, so it's useless, but it's there. Okay. I think next I need to get a crook. Okay. I have read a low seat Beauty and the Beast Day unit, but I'm not sure if it was yours. Tina, I mean, I can't tell you whether or not it was mine, without really going into it, but I needed to do this. But it was, God, now I'm trying to think even, what did I do for it? Sorry, my brain is it just died. It was Logan, in the place of Belle, and he was in the village raised by Emil from Cartoon Therapy, and the Gaston stand-in was Roman, but he wasn't like a full Gaston. He was basically just like, the village love interest. He was a bit of an ass in the original. Actually, he was a bit much. He stopped being much in the rewrite. And then Deceit obviously was the Beast. And he was like cursed by a witch who I think kind of in my mind was a mix of like both the Dragon Witch and the Orange Side, who I think we knew existed at that point, but we didn't know anything about him. And because the witch uses like orange magic, I think that was pretty much the only connection there. They don't exist as a character other than that. And he was cursed to be a dragon, right? Scaled winged beast, and the rest of the castle was cursed to be animals. But and this part was never really explained, but they were able to be become mostly their human selves again within the walls of the castle, thanks to Remy's magic. But that's about as far as I got with that. Because, again, I wrote myself into a corner because I realized, I was like, man, why would Logan ever fall in love with this version of Deceit? He's an asshole. And I didn't know how to not make him an asshole, and so I stopped. If I rewrote it again, I have ideas as to what I would do, but if I do, it's years down the road, because I'm fully into writing role swap at this point. New Cosplays for You says, quick question, will you and Raven ever collab again? That is honestly fully up to Raven. I am down to collab with Raven, and I'm down to collab with other people too. If you have any suggestions or recommendations or people you just kind of want to see. But yeah, no, collabing with Raven was super fun. I've been friends with Raven since I started my channel, really. They joined my Discord and we ended up talking. They're one of my mods. I find Raven's a very cool person. I would certainly love to collab again. If y'all have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. I think in terms of our channels, we've definitely kind of gone for separate niches. They have started to post stories that are, original stories, and not just ones that they've written. I'm not sure if they are ones that they've written, but like, classic literature type stuff. Their video with the Velveteen Rabbit is really, really good. I really liked that one. Yeah, and me, I eventually want to pivot this channel. I don't exactly know when or what to, and don't worry, nothing's going anywhere anytime soon. But there is a certain part of me that wants to, just do other things, right? And do a wide variety of things, which I think is the bigger thing for me. I don't want to be boxed into one little niche, which right now, I mean, obviously, Sandersides is the only thing that is on this channel, which is fine. I like Sandersides, obviously. I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it. But, there's other fandoms that I like. Ace Attorney is probably one of the biggest ones that is just continuously one of my favorites. And there are some really good fanfics in the Ace Attorney fandom. I'm just gonna say, it is a very, very, it's an older fandom, obviously. It's been around for quite a long time, and people in it, man, they're good writers. Like, they're just really good at what they do. But yeah, what other AUs? Obviously, let me go through Fluffuary, because obviously Fluffuary was partly just canon verse, or just, regular human AUs, nothing really special about them. But there was let's see, there was the Third Day Logents, oh dear, let me look even. Flying Low, Flying High, which was the Wing AU. I think a lot of people really liked that one. Language of Flowers, which was the Hibiscus Festival. I liked that one, even though I didn't really even do a whole lot. Like, there could have been so much more world building in that one, that I certainly could have delved a lot deeper into. Winding Strings was the Soulmate string one. Colliding Worlds was the Siren AU. That one, again, I had more lore behind the scenes, especially about Remus, and I had ideas for, like, his relationship with Roman and his relationship with his mom, who was like a part siren, I think. Dark Places kind of had an AU in it. It was like superhero AU, but it was all a dream. So that one I didn't think too hard about that one. What was this one? And then the Guardians of Light and Shadow and the Guardians of Fire and Nature. That AU, I have so much about that AU. Actually, I didn't even get into it, and honestly, I don't even think that these little one-shots do it justice. This AU, this Royal Magic AU, I have so much for it. And again, if I were an Ask Blog person, that would be the AU I would create, because I wanted to at one point, and maybe if I ever really get into drawing again, I say again, I never got into it in the first place. I would do that one, because that one's my favorite, I think. Maybe not writing wise, but like AU wise, I think that one is top notch. Actually, writing wise, it's pretty good too. But yeah, I was rereading the first two. I was rereading A Haunted Mistake and The Foster's Magic earlier, just to kind of remember it. And I was like, dang, these are cute. I wrote some cute stuff. I think I kind of fell off at the end of Fluffy because I got tired, which I think is understandable, writing, that many different worlds in 1 month. And I did start before. I started in January writing them, but writing them and recording them, it was a lot. It was a lot. That month was a lot, but it was also really, really fun. And I do I want to say that? Part of me wants to say I would like to do an event like that again, but the other part of me remembers how much work it was, and how even back then as a full-time student I had less to do than I have to do now in my life. So in an ideal world, I would love to do that again, but I don't hold me to anything about that. Duck Monster says Flying Low, Flying High was my favorite. Yeah, that one's pretty good. And I'm sad that I ended up making it just a lamp fic instead of a, full poly fic with the 6 of them, because I have some cool ideas for Deceit, Janice, and Remus in that AU, because I think Raven really liked that one, and they were talking to me about, which doesn't surprise me, Raven's a bird. But Raven really liked that one, and so I ended up doing a little bit of world building after the fact for it. And yeah, that one's a good one. What are some of y'all's other favorites? I know Duck Monsters is Flying Low, Flying High, the Wing AU. Language of Flowers is Tina's favorite concept for reasons that I don't even know. Me neither, honestly. I don't know where that concept came from. It's kind of like, classic courting rules and flower language, kind of got combined into a weird fit, but I don't know exactly where that one came from. It's been so long, I don't remember where most of them came from, in all honesty. But they're all pretty good, if I do say so myself. But again, the ones at the end I'm less proud of, for sure. Oh, I forgot I was going to turn on some music. Just some really, really quiet, chill beats. I also love Passing Notes. Excuse me. Passing Notes was good. That's just a classic high school AU, but I think it's so simple but so sweet, and honestly, I think it helps that Intralogical is one of my more favorite ships. I don't necessarily have ships I don't like, for the most part in this fandom. Like, I think that they're all pretty top tier, but Intralogical is just so... I want to see them interact more in canon, because they're just so good. Like, Raven described them in... This got cut out of it, but we were talking about what house the 2 dark sides would be in, since they didn't get talked about in fitting in, obviously. And so Raven was like, yeah, I think Remus isn't Ravenclaw. And I'm like, yes, I agree. He's the type of Ravenclaw that just will blow things up for science. And I love that for him. I think that that is a perfect house for him. And I think it would also piss Roman off, that he, got into the smart house. Well, maybe not. Roman's a bit of a himbo, so maybe he, doesn't care about that. Maybe he thinks that, oh, it's a nerd house. And then Janus, we said, definitely, he would embrace being a Slytherin. Like, let's be real. Like, he just is a Slytherin. But, like, a good, fantastic, manipulative Slytherin that, again, it's just perfect for him. And I do love him, and I think probably part of the reason why Virgil doesn't like the idea of him being in Slytherin is that, he knows someone who fits the role better, and he doesn't want to be associated with that. That's in canon, of course. Not that, Harry Potter's really something I care about at all. Tina says Colliding Worlds was also Remus yeeting himself off the ship was a mood. True, but it is quintessentially Remus. So I think that is the only way that fit could have gone. The only thing that he could have done there was yeet himself off the ship because he was horny. Like, that's it. That's just what he does. That's just what he do. Pamzon says, is this about Sandra Site's Podfix? Yes, we're talking about the AUs that kind of came from the Podfix, mostly from Fluffyuary. We also have the Demigod AU and the Beauty and the Beast AU. I think that those are really what is from this channel, at least. I guess you could consider I Am Creativity like a canon divergent type of AU, because obviously Creativity as a character was... He was one I made up. He doesn't exist in the series. Not that I want him to. I think that the series would be worse off if they got rid of both the twins. But I do love my Creativity boy. He's a good boy. Let's see. What else? Remus would be the type of Ravenclaw to know all the obscure gross facts. True. Exactly. That's the kind of Ravenclaw he would be. Like, Logan would know just any facts. Like, he would know facts about anything and everything. But Remus would specifically look for facts about just the grossest things. He would definitely try and gross Roman out. Pamzon says, I love Keeper of Dreams and I Am Creativity. I Am Creativity was a good one. Like, I don't talk about it a whole lot. I'm just gonna let these silkworms have to sit, so we're just gonna talk for a second. But yeah, I Am Creativity was a really, really good one. And I think I also really like it because I got to include my little orange boy in there. Not that he's in there for all that long. He's not in there at all as Obsession. You don't even get to know his name, which I have, by the way. But you do get to see Valentine, who is just my little cherub boy. He's so cute, and so sad at the same time. And I think... it's interesting too because as I'm writing Role Swap, I'm realizing like, okay, how much do I need to include of his backstory in Role Swap, because obviously I don't want to just dump everything, you know, because it'd be a little weird to dump, like, his whole backstory without, like, doing the same for all the other characters, and obviously I'd have to, because he's an OC, and you do need to know more about him. But, you know, a lot of his backstory, at least you can see it in I Am Creativity, with, I think chapter 3 is the flashback, with just, you know, you can see him as Passion, you can see him, just kind of being the little cutie pie he is. I Am Creativity is my favorite of your fix. Yeah, you like it more than Roll Swap, even, Toby? Toby's the only one, at least here, that has read, Roll Swap of my fix. Actually, well, no, Tina, is that the same Tina that I talked to in my Discord? I never know. Some people change their names in Discord, and some people, you know, have the same name everywhere, so I don't know. But if that is you, Tina knows as well. Doug Mustard says A Game of Ice is my personal favorite of your fix. Well, I didn't write A Game of Ice. That was written by, oh god, what was their name? I don't remember their name. But that was written by someone else. But yeah, no, A Game of Ice is a really good podfic. I'm assuming that's what you meant, like, of the things on my channel. Yeah, no, A Game of Ice was really, really fun to record, and I really like it. I really like it in terms of just reading that fic. It's a very, very good fic. And I think it characterizes Remus in a really, really fun way. Remus is an interesting character to characterize, though, I will say. Because he can go so many different ways, and we truly don't know all that much about him. We don't know that much about him when you think about it. Like, we know, obviously, that he is creativity. He's not... He embodies Thomas's intrusive thoughts, or he gives Thomas intrusive thoughts. But, interestingly enough, you know, a lot of, like, angst fic with him has him reacting to his intrusive thoughts as well, and kind of being upset by them. But, like, we have no indication in canon that Remus is bothered by his thoughts at all. And honestly, I have yet to see too much of that interpretation, that, like, he is fine with his thoughts and he finds joy in them. And I would love to see more of that in the fandom, honestly, because I don't think that, you know, he's not a he might not like you know, me saying that, but, like, he's not bad for thinking them, because thoughts alone don't make you bad. And he doesn't get bothered by the thoughts, I don't think, because, you know, they're just that. They're thoughts. Like, so what? You know? I mean, I've been thinking a lot about this because in my Roll Swap AU, this is all I'm going to tell you, because you learn this if you learn it in the prologue, I'll tell you. But in my Roll Swap AU, so Remus becomes morality. So I've been thinking a lot about how that would kind of affect him. And then, let's see, Janice becomes logic, which seems like the most, ironically, logical switch of all of them. My orange OC, Otto, he becomes Roman's creativity. So all three of the dark sides become the three light sides, basically. And then you have Logan, who becomes anxiety. Roman, who gets Remus's creativity. You have Virgil, who becomes obsession, which is Otto. That's my orange side. That's his name, obsession. And then Patton becomes deceit. And so I've been thinking a lot about how each of those sides kind of would both react to becoming a different side, or becoming the side that they become, and kind of why they become that side, which there is a reason, but they don't know it, but I know it, right? It's one of those things. And then, so I've been thinking a lot about the characters recently and kind of how they would react to this weird situation that they find themselves in. But yeah, Roll Swap's fun. I enjoy it. So he says, I don't know, actually, I'm not sure actually if I like it more than Roll Swap or not. To be fair, I Am Creativity's complete. So there is that. You know, you can go in and read all of it or listen to all of it and be done. Like, the story is complete. So that's helpful, at least. You know, because if you want more of Roll Swap from me, you either need to bug me to write it, or you need to just get me talking about it and you get, like, snippets. But you don't get actual, like, dialogue or anything. Tina says, I don't remember much of ISE, only that it was good. Still need to reread it. Yeah, it was like 2 years ago at this point, so it's a bit of an older one. But it's an oldie but a goodie. It's pretty good. Remus feels like we know everything we need to know about him while simultaneously knowing nothing about him. True. Like, we know him as a character. We know what he does. We know how he acts. Like, that at least, like, we know enough about him to be able to write him in a way that, like, feels in character, right? But in terms of what he does for Thomas and how he sees Thomas, I think that is kind of what we're missing. Like, we have no idea what he feels about Thomas, like, other than maybe feeling a little annoyed that Thomas doesn't listen to him in terms of his creative ideas. Like, we don't have much to go on other than that. And what I find interesting too, that's not right. What I find interesting too about Remus is that, you know, we have 2 episodes with, right? 2 episodes? I think just 2, because we have dealing with intrusive thoughts and then working through intrusive thoughts. And working through intrusive thoughts, I think I said this in the ranking video, where he is, sorry, just lost my train of thought. Where, like, you know, he kind of, the only reason he has power in that situation is because Thomas has not taken care of his space, right? Like, the space and the set design in that video is very much, like, showing how a dirty, messy space can kind of be exemplary of your state of mind, or at least of Thomas's state of mind in that video. And he, I don't know, I really like that video for the way that it shows it off, and I think Remus in that, he's trying to show Thomas that he's not thinking about something, or that he's missing something. He's trying to get him to confront ideas, and I think that, I mean, a lot of people, I think, have kind of come to the conclusion, like, that's kind of what he, maybe not what he was originally meant for, but kind of what he does now, that he builds, or, like, you know, builds these contraptions, you might call them, and these Rube Goldberg machines and stuff, and that's what gets Thomas to kind of think about his issues that he's dealing with, because in all of the things that he does in that episode, he's making Thomas feel more alone, or recognize his loneliness, right? And that's kind of the whole issue that Thomas is dealing with, is that he feels alone. New cosplays, are you currently writing Roll Swap? Yeah, I'm writing, and it's not a Roll Swap in the traditional sense of thinking of the sides as how they, you know, as if they were different sides to begin with. Like, you know, I've seen a lot of, like, things where, like, oh, the dark sides are the light sides and light sides are the dark sides, and, like, those are cool, but, like, mine is, like, they wake up one morning and they are a different side and they have no clue why. Which I think is just so chaotic, and just, I'm excited to be able to finally share it. It's gonna be a while. I think I've got over 30K written right now, and I'm working on chapter 8. So I've the prologue and 7 chapters done. And that's it. So, you know, it's gonna be a while. By the way, Logan is reading the murder of Roger Ackroyd and dealing with intrusive thoughts, and that creates so many more theories for his arc. Yeah, Raven mentioned that. I think I kept that in the video. Raven mentioned that, and I was like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, there's no way, because that is from so many years ago. Like, that's from the Q&A, and it's like, oh, wow. Like, I could not believe that they had kept that thread throughout the entire time. It also kind of begs the question, like, does Logan read any other books other than that? But obviously, you know, it's for the setting, it's for the scene. But it's kind of like, all right, Logan, you have one book, and that's it. Doug Muster says I need to catch up on my podfics. Yeah. Anyone here? Are any of you watching the ones I'm currently posting, the Riddle Me This and When the Chips Are Down? Because I know some people like to wait until they are done posting, which is fair. Chips will be a while though. Obviously there are 57 chapters, so it's gonna be a bit, but I plan on hopefully being able to thank you, Toby. I plan on being able hopefully to post it multiple times a week so that we can get some more episodes out sooner. I don't know if that's going to pan out. It truly depends on if my mood improves or not. Which it has improved since like my bad week, but it's kind of just like plateauing right now. Whereas before, weirdly in January is like a really good month for me, and I was like, yeah, like I'm feeling good. I don't really know what it was, because normally like that's like the month where it's like, oh, seasonal depression kind of kicks your butt, like, you know, you have 5 hours of sunlight per day. Let's see. What else? Also, in terms of posting multiple times a week for each episode, it's truly going to depend as well, because I might be doing some costume work for a local theater of mine. I've got a call with the manager person in the coming week about that, and it's a really exciting opportunity, but it would definitely take more of my time. So I'll have to see what the time commitment is on that. If anything, I'm debating what I want to do with the channel once Riddle is done, because I don't necessarily want to make the channel just like one fic for weeks, right? Because like even if I continued posting twice a week and just go to Chips once Riddle is done, that would be like, let's see, because Riddle is 14 chapters, and I would be at chapter like 13 with Chips, I think, and so it would still be like another couple months, right, of just doing 2 times a week, and just posting Chips. And like, if people aren't interested in that fic, or if it squicks them out, which is the other problem with that one, because it's obviously a bit heavier, and I think some people are enjoying it. I really enjoy it personally, but I also know that not everyone might, and that's fine. But I don't want to alienate a portion of my audience for that long. I just kind of think that that's maybe not the greatest move for the channel. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, because I like doing podfic, I do, but it is one of those things where sometimes I'm not in the mood to hear myself talk. That's more for editing. Like, sometimes I'm just not in the mood to listen to my own voice as much as I need to in order to get the editing done. But I also, I'm not sure, you know? It's one of those things where I have a lot of different ways I could go with the channel. I think I've said this in my Discord server, but part of me really would love to do, like, face cam videos at some point. Specifically, I would love to do, reaction videos whenever the new episode does come out, which is gonna be a while. I was on the Patreon live stream, and it seems like there's still some time left for that. I'm not gonna say any more, but yeah, there's still some time, which thankfully, because I want to get Roll Swap out before that, but, you know, I always really like watching reaction videos from people who, just watch the video live, and that seems really fun to me, but it also scares me, to put my face just, like, on camera, and I don't entirely know how comfortable I would be with it, or really if that's even what kind of this channel wants to do. You know, maybe I pivot away from just doing Sander Sides, and maybe I do some other stuff instead. Like I said, I would love to do Ace Attorney. There's a fic that I would love to read, that I know, or I've talked to the writer of it before, just in general, like I've talked to them, they're a cool person, and I think it would be really fun to maybe ask them if I could read their fic, on the channel, but the, you know, fandom on, the Ace Attorney fandom on YouTube isn't the biggest, but I also kind of want to play Ace Attorney on the channel, maybe. Specifically my favorite game, which is Apollo Justice, which is the 4th in the series, but you don't really need to play the first original trilogy in order to get it, because it's kind of the whole point is that it's a new series, or it's a new character, it's like new main character. So yeah, basically, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, with my channel, and it's just a mess. But I don't think that that's really a surprise. Anyone who knows me knows that I like things to be planned, and this is not, and I'm not great at just kind of coming up with things on the fly or going with the flow or anything like that. So any of y'all have any suggestions, go for it. We're gonna make a bucket right now, because I need some water. Actually, I need another thing of water. I'm hyper fixated on Ace Attorney right now, and I'm all for this, but you do you. Yeah, Ace Attorney's it's just good, man. Like, I've seen, like, people think, oh, it's a series about lawyers. And it's like, yes, but also no. Like, the fact that they are lawyers is so, it's both integral to the plot, but also it doesn't matter at all, because the lawyers are the most uninteresting part of all of it. Like, the entire series, like, ugh, I don't even know how to I don't even know how to go into it, but, like, it's just such a weird series, and I think that, honestly, I think that people would enjoy it, but New Cosplays for you says, what's Ace Attorney about? I haven't seen it. So, well, it is an anime, but it's a game. It's a game series. Originally for Nintendo DS. Actually, the first one might have even been on Game Boy. I don't remember. Because I got into it later. But so it's a game series, but it's been ported to like a bunch of different consoles. I think it's on Switch now, or the original trilogy is on Switch, at least. Oh boy, do I even attempt to explain Ace Attorney? Oh boy. Generally, it is about a lawyer named Phoenix Wright, who is a defense attorney. And he gets different cases, he takes on different clients, and he has to prove their innocence in what is always a murder trial. For some reason, it's never not a murder trial. I think there's one in the 6th game that's part not murder trial, but also partly is. So that one doesn't even fully count because part of it is a murder trial. It's always a murder trial. And the thing about the series is that it is wacky as fuck. Every character has a name pun of some kind. There are spirit mediums, so you can talk to the dead characters. Or, you know, some. And then the rival prosecutor is just like an asshole. But he's also like Phoenix's childhood best friend, and basically it's like a visual novel type series where it's very linear. It's like you can explore and stuff, but like it's got a clear storyline that you have to hit. And I truly think playing it on the channel would be fun. It would be kind of like a voice acting thing. I would love to play it with other people if others wanted to like play it with me. But I've told Toby, I was like, I will play it on the channel and then you have to watch it, because I've tried to get Toby into Ace Attorney, and it's just because I've sent him some memes about it, and he's just like, what the hell is this? Duckmaster says, oh, by the way, what are your pronouns? Normally she, they, but I'm kind of feeling they, them today, if y'all don't mind. Tina says, we also have super lawyer powers like super hearing and laser focus. The most unrealistic thing in this series is flying. Never possible. True. There are so many things that characters can do. One of them is super hearing. You know, one has the ability to perceive, like basically just zoom in his vision. You have, like I said, spirit mediums. What else? There's other things. I can't for the life of me figure out the joke in Christoph Gavin. I don't know. My guess is it's not always, I guess, name puns. Sometimes they're references. And to be fair, he might have had a more obvious name pun in Japanese, because the game is originally Japanese, and so obviously it's been translated. So it's possible that it kind of got lost in translation. Just a guess. I don't know. I'd have to like check the wiki or something to see what people have guessed. But yeah, no, some of the name puns are not obvious at all. But some of them, there is a character named Dead Man. I'm not kidding. So it is a wacky game. So if you ever thought, oh, that's just a game about lawyers, it's gonna be boring. No, it's like the opposite. It is frustrating. It is a lot of things. Ace Attorney is a lot of things. It is frustrating. It is emotional. It is funny. It is not boring. Like, not at all. I just haven't bought it. I want to play it, I swear. I'm telling you, there are emulators online. You can find it online. You don't need to buy it. Anti-gender moment. My pronouns have always been she, they, but yeah, no, they, them recently. Also because I have to deal with she, her just at work, because I don't really feel like coming out, because I'm not like, it's like gender light. But yeah, so I'm feeling some non-binary action. Imagine naming your first kid Kristoff and your second Piano. True. So true. he yeah. Yeah. He Don't forget about the radio, the bird, and the doll. I'm not sure what that's in. I'm assuming that's Ace Attorney. You're talking about witnesses that you have to cross-examine? The doll. What's the doll? What do you mean werewolf? What's the doll? What am I missing? I'm forgetting. What am I forgetting? I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Or if someone else knows what they're talking about. Puppet. Oh, yeah. Oh, I hate the stupid puppet. I hate Turnabout Big Top, just in general. That case sucks. It's so annoying. Yeah, Trillo. Oh, no! Oh, that whole case is annoying. And what's so funny, actually, is that one of the characters in that case, Regina Berry, the, animal trainer, I think she is. I haven't played, Justice for All in a while. But she's in the second Investigations game, actually, which is quite interesting. I think she's a little bit better in that game, mostly because you don't have to deal with the clown or the puppet as well. You can just deal with her, and she's kind of cute on her own. But yeah, oh god, Turnabout Big Top sucks. That's the worst case. I'm gonna go on record right now and say it. That's the worst case. Justice for All is the worst game, actually. Like, none of the, like, they're not, like, horrendously bad. Like, they're playable, but just, oh my god, Justice for All. Except, I suppose the last case is pretty good. The last case, I think, makes up for it. But I don't remember anything else from Justice for All other than that. And actually, I get, Justice for All confused with Trials and Tribulations sometimes. Like, I don't remember what case is from what. The second Investigation game was so good. True! I never played it, but I watched playthroughs of it. And I really liked it. And I know, obviously, you know, well, what am I saying? God, I just completely drew a blank. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Yes, it's good. I like it. Oh no. Pearl channeling and changing character but keeping the clothes was always weird to me. Well, that's kind of how spirit channeling works, though. I mean, because Maya keeps the same clothes, too, when she channels. It does look a little weird, especially when she channels Mia. It's kind of like, did they have to design it like that? But, you know, it's not founded by the canon. Not great design-wise, but, I think I was gonna say something about how, like, people don't like the first Investigations game, which is fair. The first Investigations, kind of a slog. It's alright, until the last case, and then I didn't finish the last case, actually. I played through it, I didn't finish the last case, because it was just kind of a drag. But yeah, I cosplay Trucy Wright, actually. You guys are making this sound so confusing and amazing at the same time. Exactly! It's such a weird, wild game, and I urge everyone to play it. Like, look online, there are emulators, you can play the first game, like, so well. If you've ever seen, a meme on Tumblr that is, like, it'll get posted on December 24th, and it'll say, almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Like, that's from this fandom. And it is so, or, you know, I'm sure you guys have seen, if you're on Tumblr at all, you've seen the, the super long posts that have, like, the Ace Attorney sprites and, like, people arguing back and forth. Like, that's that's basically what the game is like. Duck Monster says, might have to go play this now, sounds so strangely wonderful. Yeah, it is! Please, this is my agenda today. This is my agenda. Everyone has to go play Ace Attorney. Or tell me to play it on my channel. I will do that too. I will gladly do that. If y'all don't want to play it yourselves, I get it. I will play it for you. Because I would love to play the game again. It's so good. And I don't even like the original trilogy all that much. Like, listen. The sequel trilogy has a lot of problems. Especially Dual Destinies. I'm not a fan of some of the things they did. And Spirit of Justice is just weird. But I adore it. Alright, people are asking me to play it. I will. I will. Would you guys prefer if I played it like as a live stream, or if I played it as like an episodic thing? Or I can do both. I can live stream it and then edit it down. Because I would, if I were gonna do it, I would play it as like a full playthrough for people who want to, you know, maybe experience the game but don't necessarily want to buy it. Like it wouldn't be like edited down, you know, to be funny. Because I think this game, like, you certainly can just do, like, I think if you've ever watched Jello Apocalypse, like, he played through the first and second investigation games, and he did that, and he, like, edited it down to be really funny and quirky, and, like, that's fine. I enjoy those videos, but I would definitely like to just play through it pretty much straight. I feel like, though, I want to play it with someone, though. Like, it's more fun when you voice act it, and it's just so much fun if you do it with another person. So I'll have to see. I don't know who would want it, because that's a pretty big commitment, right? Like, these games are hours and hours of playtime. Like, playthroughs of the first game can go anywhere from like 50 to 70 episodes depending on how long they are. It's kind of a long series, and I would want to finish it because I'm a completionist. I want to do that. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. I have to sieve dust. Right. Okay. I think a stream would be thorough as long as people can watch it afterwards too. Yeah, I would definitely, because right now you can go back and watch my live streams. I do want to say that. I put them all in a unlisted playlist, but you can find the link on my channel and you can do that. And I just do that because I don't want them to kind of clog up the list of like my videos, you know? I prefer, if people are browsing my channel, I'd much prefer them to just be able to see my podfics, but you can find my streams there. It's kind of whatever, because I do these streams to chat with stuff, you know? I do these streams to chat with you guys, and I don't necessarily do them for, you know, gameplay, or whatever I'm doing on the screen. So I don't see much of a point of me keeping them up afterwards, like fully visible. So yeah, but certainly I would probably put them in a separate playlist, I think, and I would definitely want to figure out a way to kind of maybe edit them down. At the very least, I would edit out like any, you know, pauses if I went to go get a drink or you know, things like that. But yeah, all right. Well, good to know that y'all are at least willing to try some different things that I want to do. This series is wild, and I think that it would be a good fit for well, I think you guys would like it. What's your favorite color? Take a wild guess. Hope that was enough of an answer for you. Tina, I'd 100% do it if I could. Time usually is on my side. True. Time isn't really currently on my side either. I have a lot that I've been doing. But I suppose if it's something that I enjoy, it's more likely. Because right now, Toby, don't spread slander about me. That's slanderous. Stop it. Because yeah, like right now, Podfix, like I do enjoy doing them, but they are also a bit of their energy. And I suppose doing this would be too, because it's also voice acting and it's also including that kind of stuff. But I don't know, like, maybe it's just my mood. Maybe I just need to kind of recover a bit, and then I can, you know, have a better idea of what I'm feeling with the channel. But I also, I mean, so that's one thing is kind of the gameplay. While my brain is still on Ace Attorney, did your Madoka Magica AU don't go anywhere? I haven't done anything with it. That doesn't mean I don't still have it. Yeah, I was actually gonna, I thought about that. I couldn't remember, I probably talked about that in the server, huh? Yeah, no, I have a Madoka Magica Ace Attorney AU. And it is sad, it is angsty, and I don't know what I would do with it, is the thing. Because, like, I don't necessarily have, like, a full story arc with it. I more have just, like, kind of snippets and character designs. Again, if I could draw, maybe that's something I need to do. Just do some more drawing. Oh yeah, time. Time is just the hardest thing to find. Toby, I like red. You can like red, but don't say that my favorite color is red. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, purple is my favorite color. By far. It always has been, really. Like, I had, pink carpet, in my bedroom as a kid, and we painted my walls like a light lavender purple. It was very pretty. I really like that. Well, actually, they're not now. My parents took that and they painted the walls blue. They made it into guest bedroom. But yeah, it was a really fun room to grow up in. Very pretty color. Tina, I was your soundboard. Okay, I remember talking about it to someone, I just couldn't remember who it was. Now that I know Trucy and Vera, it's so much sadder. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what I said for Vera. But yeah, Trucy's story is, in the AU. Oh my goodness. No, it hurts. I would like to do something with it. I think, so we're going to use that as a segue, actually, because the other thing I would love to do for this channel is, oh, that makes you follow me, okay, or just wander, stay there, is that, so I do cosplay, and I would love to maybe do some eventually cosplay videos, like building the costumes or doing like con vlog type stuff, obviously when when conventions are a thing around me and when I start going again. That depends on how comfortable I am, again, putting my face on camera, which is both a self-conscious thing and a bit of a security thing. Just, you know, I mean, being online, I think, you know, that's a concern that comes up, unfortunately. And, you know, I'd like to think that people are chill, but all it takes is one, you know what I mean? All it takes is one person to break that trust. So, I don't know. But I would love to do like a magical girl Madoka Magica AU design of her. I also just would love to do some vloggy type stuff in general. But yeah, I don't know. Alright, I've got some actual stuff now. What do we do with this again? I don't think I do much of anything, really. Finding Rodlands. Yeah, oh, that's that stuff again. Stormcraft. I think I need magic crystals. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Let's see. I need the crucible. Put that over a torch. Put some cobblestone in there. We make some lava. Oh, I got it. Since when did I get a cobblestone generator? What? When did that happen? What? Okay, cool. Let's see. What other series am I into? One other series that I would love to read from. I haven't read as much in the fandom, at least not in recent years. I used to read for it, but Soul Eater. Truly one of my favorite animes like ever. And I actually cosplay from it. I cosplay Maka. And I remember there being some pretty good ones, but again, this was years ago, so they could have just been good to like my 13-year-old tween brain. Duck Monster is the entire world just like Underground? Yes. So I'm Underground. It's like a specially generated world. It's all stone. There's no ores in this world. You have to go to a different dimension. You have to go to the mining dimension in order to get any ores or anything. You can get ores in other ways. Obviously, I have some stuff, but Launchpad Kid 09. Wait, this isn't Minecraft. I mean, it is. I've got it. See, I've got an axe. I've got torches. I've got a bucket. This is just some modded Minecraft. Duck Monster, I love Soul Eater. Yeah, it's so good. I love it. I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but I do. I think it's a super good series, and it's also a series that is really weird on paper. Like, you have, people who can turn into weapons, and you have, this system where your soul can get corrupted and you can turn into, like, a freaking monster just by doing evil deeds. And then you have, like, the literal Grim Reaper, who's, like, runs this school for these death weapons. And you also have witches who, like, the weapons and meisters are just in constant conflict with. And the main character's weapon can turn into a scythe, which is super cool, by the way. Skyrim has an axe, Skyrim has a bucket, this is a Skyrim stream. You know what? Sure. This is a Skyrim stream now. I'm sorry I misled you all with my title. Minecraft is just so much more popular. There's a kid named Kid True. Although he's not a human kid, he is a Shinigami kid. He is obsessed with symmetry to the point where he will pass out and spit up blood if he gets unsymmetrical. What else? What else weird things are there in Soul Eater? It's a wild series. It's a really good shonen though, and what I find interesting is, like, are there any other shonens that have a female lead in the way that Soul Eater does. Like, Maka is the main character, right? She is the shonen protagonist. She is the friendship female, she's the friendship, you know, protagonist who's reckless as hell, and just, like, I don't know of any other series that even has a female shonen protagonist. It's, like, not very common, and I think that's why I love it. And honestly, the manga, highly recommend. Like, the anime is good up until the Arachne stuff starts happening, and then the Arachne stuff is kind of just, it's not the same as it is in the manga. But the manga is so good, and it just gets so much better than the anime does. And the anime just, I think they caught up to the manga, so they had to, like, do their own thing. I think that's what happened with that. But it's a fantastic series. Highly recommend. It was my second ever anime that I watched, actually. And you know what? At first, could not get into it because I had my first ever anime was Black Butler. And if you know anything about Black Butler, it is the animation is it's more detailed. You know, obviously it's very, like, refined and all that, just based on the source material. So that was my first anime. And then my friends were like, oh, you should watch Soul Eater. And I tried to get into it, but I couldn't, specifically because the animation was so different and it looked a lot simpler to me. And so I put it off for the longest time, and then I finally watched it. I watched the first episode and was like, oh, this is good. And then it is swiftly become my favorite. I don't care as much about Black Butler anymore because the manga did something real weird. Manga did something real weird, and I was like, oh, I don't know about that. But Soul Eater, quality. Tsubaki was superior. True. I feel for Tsubaki. Like, patience of a saint, let me tell you. Like, she is she is a saint. I commend her. I could never do what she does. And I love all of them, really. If any of them were my least favorite, it'd probably be Black Star, but even then, he's, like, so cool by the end of it. Like, he's a freaking badass, man. Dang it, I need more. What other series? Madoka Magica, clearly. I don't want to talk too much about that because the big part of it that makes it really good is most certainly a spoiler. So I'm not gonna touch that. Toby, of course you love Black Star. Why does that not surprise me that you love Black Star? Why does that not surprise me at all that is your favorite character? Cosplay Black Star with me. Come up to where I live. Let's do it together. Black Star is good. He's just irritating in the beginning. Are you talking about anime? I just got here, but I love your voice so much. I have you done. Oh, thank you. Yes, we're talking about anything that comes up, really, because not a lot of people are chatting. So I'm just talking about whatever comes to mind because if y'all want me to talk about something else, bring it up in chat. Let's go. What the fuck does that mean? I just mean you have a certain type, and Black Star seems to fit your type. That's all. Don't worry about it too much. Let's see. What else? It's kind of funny. Me and my friends were talking about anime recently, and we were talking about, like, our favorite animes. And we were like, oh yeah, this and that, and then I brought up, I was like, oh yeah, and you know, Full Metal Alchemist is great as well. And they were all like, oh yeah, that's great. And then I kind of laughed to myself because I was like, you know, I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood was their favorite anime. But if you bring it up, you're like, oh yeah, that's a good anime. Like, I don't know, it's such an interesting thing where it's like, you know, I don't know if it is anyone's favorite anime, at least no one I've ever talked to. It's a good anime though, right? Like, it's good. And honestly, the original series, up until they start going off the manga and doing their own thing, the original series is pretty good too. They've got some arcs that are from the manga that Brotherhood kind of skipped over because, you know, they run in the original series, so they just kind of didn't bother. I know someone whose favorite anime is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Fair enough. Like, I'm not saying it's bad enough that people wouldn't say that. It's just like, I feel like people tend to bring up other anime other than that. Have you watched Blue Exorcist? It's on Netflix. I watched it years ago. It didn't grab me. I don't think it was bad necessarily, but it didn't grab me in a way. It just kind of didn't, I don't know, it didn't strike me. And it felt, correct me if I'm wrong, the anime felt incomplete. Like, I watched like however many episodes there were, and I was like, is that it? Like, is there more in the manga or something? So I don't know I don't remember. Lay says, don't judge me, but I love Toradora. I love Toradora. I'm not judging at all. You have good taste. Toradora is a good anime. Because, here's the thing. Taiga, excuse me. Taiga, is a good tsundere. Like, she gets a little irritating at times. But for the most part, she is a good tsundere. And most series that have tsunderes kind of just, like, they don't do it well. So, yeah, Toradora's it's a really, really cute anime. If anyone doesn't know, Toradora is an anime. It's basically about these two characters. You have Taiga and you have Ryuji. And they both have a crush on the other one's best friend. So Taiga has a crush on Ryuji's best friend and vice versa. And they both find out about each other's crushes and they say, hey, why don't we help each other get with our crushes? And so they do that. But along the way, you know, because it's a romance anime, they ended up kind of falling for each other a little bit. It's very, very cute. It's very, very cute. Duck Monster says, I love the way you say tsundere. How would you say it? That's how you say it. That's how you say that word. How would you say tsundere? I'm saying it kind of like the Japanese way. Like, well, now I feel self-conscious about it, man. Fair enough, it's like the second anime I ever watched. I like Death Note and BNHA better. Death Note was a pretty early anime for me as well. I think that one was good up until, no spoilers, but up until about I think the first half was really good. But then the second half kind of went eh for me after a certain character, you know, did the thing. Tsundere? Ew. No, tsundere. I try to pronounce it as Japanese as I can. How do I do this? Seeds and spider eye. No, I thought that there was a different way. I think spore. Here we go. Sand. Okay. I gotta go one more. Oh, I haven't seen the second half yet. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, I can understand that, yeah. And again, it has been years since I've watched Death Note. So, you know, my taste might have changed. Although, I will say, I do like all the jokes, like, online and stuff about how, like, Light is just both a complete dumbass and just a horrible person. Because it's true. He very much is not a good person. But yeah, and then Boku no Hero. I have not watched Boku no Hero Academia. I haven't. For a while, I was telling myself it was because I had a series that I wanted to do that was, like, kind of superhero stuff, and I didn't want to, like, do it, but also I think that was also just like I need iron stiffen mesh. Ew. I think it was also a bit of an excuse, a little bit. So maybe I'll watch it at some point. The Ancient Magus Bride is really good. I would like to watch that one. I would really like to watch that one. Actually, I think it's that anime. One of the YouTubers that I watch, actually, who does Ace Attorney playthroughs, or has done them, I think actually was a voice actor in Ancient Magus Bride, the English dub. I don't know what the main character's name is, or like the girl's name is. I don't know what her name is, but I think she might have played her. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on that. But I thought that sounds familiar to me. So I don't know. Unpopular opinion, I hate Deco, and I don't know how to pronounce that other one. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't not watch it because I didn't think I wouldn't like it. Like, I'm indifferent to shonen, I would say. Like, I mean, obviously I love Soul Eater, but like Soul Eater is kind of a weird one in shonen. It's not exactly like your traditional shonen. For one, it's got a main character who is a girl, so there is that. But also just it's yeah, I don't know. It just, I told myself I wouldn't want to watch it, and then I just kind of never did. And then I think it's still good, right? I mean, has it fallen off recently? I feel like I haven't seen too much of people saying like, "Oh, don't get into it. The season's bad." Like, I think it's still pretty good, right? I know they did a thing with one character that people didn't like. But other than that, I think in general it's pretty good. I don't know a whole lot about it other than it's superpowers with quirks, and the one main character doesn't have it, and he has to break all of his bones when he gets the power from the other guy who like gives him his hair to eat. Nasty, by the way. Just saying, that's nasty. Not a fan of that. I really want to watch The Promised Neverland. I haven't yet. Yeah, I don't know what that one's about. I remember seeing a lot of people saying that they really liked it. After, you know, when it first kind of started coming out, but I don't really know what it's about, honestly. I'd be interested. Maybe I'll watch it. I mean, you know, it's kind of also like I don't necessarily have a way to watch a lot of these, and I'm too lazy to like go and find them through non-quite legal means. So I just don't. I just don't. And honestly, I've been in that mood where like I haven't wanted to watch anything new. I've just wanted to like keep rewatching series that I already enjoy. Sailor Moon is one I come back to a lot. Specifically, I will rewatch Crystal, mostly because it's on Netflix, and I much prefer watching things on Netflix instead of Hulu if I can, because Hulu has ads, at least, you know, on my thing. And I don't like that. But Angel of Death is really good. I haven't heard of that. Interesting. I haven't heard of that one. Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think. What else have I seen? I feel like I haven't seen a whole lot. And honestly, some of the anime I have seen, none of y'all are gonna know. Like, I would, if I say them, I would be real surprised if any of y'all know it. And that's the other thing. I don't know a lot of series that are popular either. I'm watching Dr. Stone next. My friends really like Dr. Stone, and I've seen... I think I know what it's about, and I think I would enjoy it. I have not watched it, but it sounds interesting. There is one series I really want to watch. It's called Inheritance of a Bookworm, and so I'm not into isekai normally. I find them very annoying, but that one sounds good. It sounds real good, and I really, really want to find it and watch it. It's like about a girl who gets brought into this other world, and she's like she gets put in the body of like a young girl who can't walk very well, I think, or has some kind of sickness that kind of keeps her bedbound. And in her old life, she was a bookworm, obviously. She really liked to read, and so in this new world, which is kind of like a medieval time period type setting, she wants to figure out how to make paper so that she can make books again. And again, I don't know a whole lot about it, because I've only ever really I saw one video of a person actually discussing the differences between Dr. Stone and Inheritance of a Bookworm. So that's the only thing I really know about it. I'm just getting into Dance with Devils. I can't find it in English, but it's sort of interesting. I also don't know what that one is. Y'all know some series that I've never heard of, which is interesting. But yeah, I've learned I really like series, shows, or anything like that kind of turn tropes on their head. So like, you have Soul Eater, which is kind of a not a twist necessarily, but a new take on a shonen thing where the main character is a girl, and just this interesting whole show. That's not the only thing going for it. Like it's got a lot going for it, but like it's not your kind of traditional shonen. Or in High School Host Club kind of makes fun of the whole reverse harem tropes, and also just has a really cool protagonist, which is Haruhi, which honestly, Haruhi has I have Haruhi's view on gender, where it's just like, whatever. Like, some days I care, sometimes I don't, and that's more than she can say, but like, Haruhi, gender icon, honestly. I aspire to be like her. And then Madoka Magica is not a traditional magical girl anime. It kind of plays on the tropes of traditional magical girl animes, and not all of them are like that. I like Soul Eater or Sailor Moon just for what it is, but I think also Sailor Moon was it wasn't the original magical girl anime, but it was one of the big ones, and the tropes don't seem as tired when it's in Sailor Moon. But yeah, I don't know. So if any of y'all have kind of, I just don't like super tropey animes. I just don't, I can't, like isekais are mostly wish fulfillment, and I just can't bring myself to care. Nozaki-kun is a really good dissection, or just kind of like a really good romance anime, because the main character, Chio, she doesn't get super flustered around her love interest. Like, she can talk to him like a normal person. The only time she gets flustered is if she tries to actually express her emotions, like her feelings towards him. Other than that, she can act like a normal person around him, which is just so refreshing. Because, God, is that annoying. Like, when the characters can't talk to their love interest like a normal-ass human being, irritates the hell out of me. Have you considered watching Beastars? I might. I don't really know what it's about. Like, obviously it's like, animal people. Like, I know that. But, like, in terms of story, I don't really know what it's about. I also haven't watched A Silent Voice. POV Miraculous Ladybug. Miraculous is garbage. And I say that with all the love in my heart. I watched up till season 3, and then obviously there was a break after, between season 3 and season 4. And after that, I was just kind of like, I don't care. And then, season 4 still had all the airing issues and the airing out of order and just everything, and I was just like, you know what? I just don't care anymore. I know a lot of the stuff that's happened because I still follow some Miraculous blogs, but like, it is garbage. It is pure trash. And it's sad because like the concept for the show is really fun. And I think that it could be good, but like the guy Thomas Estruck, he irritates me because he's like, oh, this is a show for kids, you don't need to think about it that much. But at the same time, the only way to watch the show half the time is to literally find it online because it airs randomly and it airs out of order and it just is it's just a mess. So I did cosplay Mayura at one point, specifically her design from like her concept art design, because I thought it was really interesting with her like having a longer skirt and the weird thing that's with her skin color, and I don't know what's going on with that. Way too focused on love triangles. Here's the thing, because Astruck has gone on record and said, he said something on Twitter that was kind of along the lines of like, oh, you're comparing this to shows that are like not actually what this show's about. Like, compare this to shows, if you're gonna critique the show, you need to compare it to actual shows that are comparable. And so it's like, okay, you take a look at Miraculous, and then you take a look at something like Sailor Moon, right? Which is also magical girls, which is basically what Miraculous is. Like, let's be real. Like, it's a magical girl show, just with superheroes instead of magical girl. But it's a magical girl show. If that were the case, Hawkmoth would have been defeated by season 1. And we would have a new villain. We would probably have the characters together. And it's just, he irritates me because it's like, y'all don't know how to play to the tropes of the series that you are making. Like, this is just grade A garbage. Sorry, I'm very passionate about this. And I'm passionate about it because I really liked this show. And then it just became terrible. But yeah, Miraculous has disappointed me. No longer shall I do Miraculous ever. No, it's dead to me. Let's take the cobble from there. Did I get it? Oh. It's also just dragging on the same villains over and over again too. Exactly! Like, here's the thing. Like, in, whatever Bunnix's episode was named, when we first saw her come from the future, we see her telling, Ladybug and Chat Noir that there are other villains that their adult selves have fought, and none of them sound like Akuma, right? So that clearly tells me, like, okay, at some point they defeat Hawkmoth, or he changes forms, whatever, and they fight other villains. Because here's the thing, Hawkmoth is not meant to be a villain, right? Like, he's a Miraculous holder, and all the Miraculous holders are meant to be good. They're meant to be heroes. following that logic, who are they supposed to be fighting? Right? Like, they have these cosmic powers. Ladybug and Shadow Noir especially, like, you have the Kwami of creation and destruction fighting this C-tier villain who's just akumatizing random civilians and giving them superpowers because they're sad. Like, it's so, like, okay, it was a good gimmick for the first season, but, like, bring us something new. This should not have gone on for 4 seasons. Come on. Beastars is kind of a thriller/mystery with social commentary undertones. Like, it deals with the dilemma of herbivores and carnivores coexisting. Think Zootopia, but more dark and gritty. Okay, fair. Fair enough. I do like Zootopia. I think it'll definitely... I'll put it on my list. Which is not very long. But I'll put it on my list to check out, because I think... it sounds interesting, and I know that a lot of people really, really like Beastars. We also know there's a crap ton of Miraculous. How come they don't just armor up a bunch of people and take him out? Like, true. Like, and here's the thing. Hawkmoth is the dumbest freaking villain in existence. Like, come on. Even Sailor Moon villains were more, they were smarter than that. Like, I'm pretty sure I know at least a couple of them figured out the Guardian's secret identities. They definitely did in the second arc, the Crystal Tokyo arc, and I think they might have even kind of in season 3 too. And it's like, come on, like, at least try to figure out the secret identity of these kids that you are fighting, these children. Like, dude, okay. It's just so... He's the dumbest villain alive, and if he weren't fighting literal children, if he fought, like, actual adults, he'd be gone. He'd be done already. He'd be so done. And don't bring people back from the dead is a pretty generic rule. Yeah, and, like, we don't even know what happened to Emily, really. Like, I think at this point we know... Well, I don't even know what's going on in that series. I think there's something happening about, like, people being sentimonsters, like Adrian being a sentimonster or something, which is just, like, okay, like, it feels like they're trying to pull, like, a rose quartz thing, but we just don't care. Like, yeah, like, how come they haven't even figured out who each other are? Exactly, like, go back to the Sailor Moon. Again, Tuxedo Mask figures out, Sailor Moon's identity, like, within the first season, and they get together, which, that has its own set of weird problematic issues, but besides that, like, come on, like, and what irritates me is, like, the episode, Chat Blanc kind of shows, like, oh, this is why they can't know each other's identities. It's like, no, this is why they need to know each other's identities, actually, because then they can defeat Hawkmoth. Because what was it? It was Adrian knew Ladybug's secret identity, but she didn't know his, I think, right? In that episode, and so... But if she had known, and then, you know, Gabriel tries to block her, Marinette, from being able to hang out with his son, she could have been like, oh no, like, I won't ever see him again, so sad, and then, you know, she goes on patrol with him later that night. Like, it just, they're so... And, like, I can forgive Marinette and the other kids being dumb because they're like, what, 14? Like, they can be dumb kids. But Hawkmoth is a full-on adult. He has no excuse to be that freaking stupid. Like, bruh. And he's a horrible villain, too. Like, if he really wanted to get their Miraculous, like, just kidnap one of them. Like, come on, you've been so close so many times. Like, why don't you just knock them the fuck out, kidnap them, and then steal their miraculous when they're out? Like, I just it's so dumb. And I refused to keep risking my blood pressure like that. So I stopped watching the series. I stopped watching the series. Honestly, best decision I've ever made. I'm just getting some grout going. Felt that. I have a lot to say about Miraculous, and I'm just so upset. But there are other good magical girl series and superhero series out there. That's the other thing. Who the heck goes, ah, yes, these children are so kind, I'll make them mini child superheroes and pit them against this angry adult who wants to kill them. True. Like, Master Fu kind of sucks. Like, and again, it's a kids series in a sense, so, you know, there's some logic of that gets thrown out the window of, like, okay, you know, in this type of media, you do look past it to a certain extent and say, like, okay, you know, this is a kids series, obviously the main characters are kids, and so we're gonna kind of ignore the weird stuff. But Miraculous is it's in a weird spot where, like, adults are more fans of it than kids. Like, to me, it feels like they should honestly just lean into their audience, but they're not good enough writers to actually write things that adults would you know, understand. So they have to keep, you know, they have to keep saying, oh, it's just for kids. Like, they have to hide behind that excuse. It's so bad. It's just so bad. Or at least make the villain a kid too. Yeah, or make the villain something alien. Right? Like, if it's that's what Sailor Moon does. Like, you know, it's an alien from outer space. Or it's you know, a threat from some colony or you know, some civilization that doesn't see them as kids, or, you know, whatever. Like, so much of these kinds of series and this kind of media make the villains not human for a reason. Because when you do, it looks weird. And Hawkmoth knows that they're adults, so you can't even use, like, the suits as an excuse, right? He knows that they're not adults. Because he tells them at some point, like, oh, you'll grow into your powers when you're an adult. Like, it's just, it's dumb. It's a dumb series. What else? Let's move on from Miraculous. I don't want to talk about Miraculous anymore. It's dumb. It makes my blood pressure rise. Let's see, what else? One of my favorite series, Durarara. It is a bit of a mindfuck, honestly. Like, it's one of those series where, like, you have to watch it at least twice to, to really understand what the heck is going on. But I've watched it many times, and so I usually understand what's going on. And yeah, I like it. um, 3 Raws. And I'll type it in chat. Like that. It's a wild series. That's another one I've cosplayed from, actually. I cosplayed Izaya. Really easy cosplay. He just have, like, black clothes and, like, a fur-lined jacket. Pretty easy, chill cosplay. And he's unhinged. Love that. Let's see. What else? What else? Do-Re-Mi. I haven't seen that. I know it's a thing. I have not seen that. Again, other than it being a magical girl. Bye, Tina. Love you. You're awesome. Other than it being kind of like a magical girl series, don't know really anything about it. Probably would like it. I mean, maybe. It looks quite kiddie. Maybe I'm wrong. But it looks like the style of it is very, very childish. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily, just that that's what I get from it. But, you know, child-looking series don't always mean that they are for kids, to be fair. Then again, after a while, just stop watching movies and shows. Me too. I just, like I said before, I just have not watched anything new in a while. Like, YouTube is honestly more of a entertainment source for me, for the most part. So I was really into the Dream SMP. Now just kind of got, again, more into like the Minecraft roleplay scene. You have like Last Life and Third Life and Hermitcraft, which is not really roleplay, but a little bit, especially with the last season. And now with Origins SMP, which is mostly Dream SMP crew, but there's a couple others on there who aren't from Dream SMP, and they just added my streamer Captain Sparkles, and he posted his first VOD for that, like day 1 VOD, and I was so excited because he used to do a series called Maya Knight, which is just, it's so old at this point. I think season 1 was in like freaking, God, 2014. It was like 7-8 years ago at this point. And I got so excited. I got so excited because he's really honestly quite good at roleplay in the way that he does it, right? Like he's not like Wilbur, where he'll like get into, you know, a scene and like really do it, but like he's good at what he does, and like he really knows how to play off of other people. He's quite good at that. And he was in character the entire stream, and it made me so happy to see him on this server, because they're trying to like really excuse me, really pick up the story. Like Wilbur especially is like really trying to like get the story going. And I think he'll be perfect for it, really. I think it'll be so good. It'll be so good. And I just had to say that because I am so excited for him on the series, and I really hope that he can keep it going, because that's kind of the problem that they have faced, is like people lose interest, and they've restarted the server several times at this point because nobody wants to do it. And I think part of the problem is like not everyone on the server wants to do the roleplay like Wilbur does, and that's fine, but like if that's what he wants to do, he needs to add more people who are doing roleplay. And now with he's got Shelby, he's got Scott, both of them were in what's it called, Empires, and that had roleplay in it, and Scott was like major roleplay in that. I didn't watch Shelby's videos on it, but like she was in it too. Have you watched Gemini Tay? Yes. Oh, I adore her. Oh my god, like Gemini Tay is like, she's so good. She like is the embodiment of literal sunshine. Like truthfully, I do not know how she is that sunshiny in all of her videos, but oh my god, I definitely have a bit of a crush on her. She's so good. But yeah, Gemini Tay is she's a new a new kind of oh, I guess I can't. Oh, maybe that's it. She's definitely a new addition. I found her recently, but so pure. Yeah, exactly. Princess Insecurity, so pure. Like, and like again, I don't want to like infantilize her or anything like that. Like, she's an adult. I think she's pretty young. She might even be younger than me, actually. I don't know for sure, but she's just so nice in her videos, and her videos are so nice to listen to. They're so comforting. They're so comforting and warm. She deserves the world. I mean that truthfully. Yeah, I watched her Hermitcraft videos. I watched Green's, and I've watched a couple random of the others, but those are the two that I like followed as season 8 was going, and that I'm kind of following as season 9 is going too. I know in the Origin SME, I know the Dream SMP people, Captain and Jerome. Yeah, there's, I mean, the community is so large now, and there are people who, what's interesting is like there are people who, you know, have maybe been in the community for a long time, but I'm just kind of finding them now, and a lot of people are finding them now, and I find it so fun when new people find Captain Sparkles and they're like, oh, you were the revenge guy, and it's like I've been there with him since the beginning. Like, I have watched him for god years at this point, so long. Not that he would like hearing that. He gets oh no, no. Whoops. He gets kind of funny about his age, which but I love the Captain. She's in college, so I think she's a new adult. Yeah, I think so. I think she's like, yeah, she's not super, like, and I'm out of college, so she definitely isn't, like, I'm definitely older than her. But again, you know, I wish her the world. She deserves the world. Do you know Bajan Canadian or Stampy? I know of them. I never watched them. Bajan maybe a little, like, in other people's videos. But I never watched either of them. Like, I think Captain Sparkles is probably the only OG YouTuber that I watched back in the day. And then I still care about to this day. Do you think any other Team Crafted will join Origin? Was Sparkles part of Team Craft? I don't think so. I don't think he was ever part of that. He definitely played with them, but I don't think he was ever part of that. Do any of them really even play Minecraft anymore? I have no idea. Like I said, I never really followed them, and I don't now. So I have no clue. I mean, if they actively play Minecraft and they're into Minecraft oral play, then possibly. I have no idea. Man, I would love to do that, though. Like, I would love to... It looks so fun, right? Like, Minecraft roleplay, it just looks so much fun to me. To just create a story in this medium that is not necessarily suited or built for a lot of the kind of storytelling that a lot of people do with it, but it's fantastic. Flip and Fundy. Yeah, Fundy's fun. I do enjoy Fundy. He's a bit wild. Is Fundy. Like, just, when you get a Fundy video, you never know what you're gonna get, you know? Let's see. Tool Forge, I don't have that yet. I think, how can I get chickens? I don't remember. What about Tommy? I like Tommy. I like Tommy's I like Tommy's videos. And his streams. Man, let me tell you, back in Exile times for the Dream SMP, I watched his streams just religiously. Like, I would be tuning in every single day, watching him deteriorate. Like, it was a time. Let me tell you, it was a time and a half. Phil, I don't not watch Phil. I enjoy Phil. But I don't tend to tune into streams in general all too often. I don't know why exactly. I just don't. I tend to more watch VODs after the fact. But no, I do enjoy Phil. I enjoy specifically the energy he brings to his streams and how he deals with, like, people being irritating in his chats. And I really, really appreciate him kind of looking out for younger streamers. Like, he's a mod in, like, Tommy's chat, Tubbo's chat, Rambo's chat, I think Fundy's and Nikki's as well, and Jack. And he will, if someone gets banned in one of their chats for being dumb, or rude or whatever, like, he will go into all the rest of their chats and ban that same person, like, in their chats as well, because he's like, no shenanigans, no, like, you know, it's just, and that kind of energy is just so, I appreciate that so much, like, just setting boundaries. You know, he very much shuts down people who, like, come into his chat just to, like, vent, and it's like, okay, I'm not your therapist, and it just, he's got good energy. I will say that, he's got very, very good energy. He's like the dad on YouTube. Yeah, he's like the dad on YouTube and Twitch. Dadza, and Mumza. Mumza's good too. Love her. She's not as much of a content creator. I mean, she's streamed a couple times now, but not as much of a content creator. But still, love her. Tommy seems to be one of the more disliked in the SMP, but I don't understand why he's a great creator, even if he's chaotic most of the time. I think that's probably why, is because he's chaotic. And not even necessarily that he's chaotic, but just, he's so loud in a good way, like, both volume and personality wise. He's a very loud personality, and I think also specifically his personality, he bumps it up for streams, right, and like videos and stuff. Like, he's not like that in real life, and I think a lot of people struggle to realize that someone can act differently in real life than they do in person. And I think because they don't act differently in real life than in person, you know, like, as a person they don't, so they're like, oh, well, if this streamer is, like, being super loud and obnoxious, then, like, that must be how they are in real life. And it's like, everyone I've ever seen talk about Tommy, like, meeting him off stream, they're like, yeah, he's such a sweet kid. And it's like, yeah, he's a sweetheart. I admire Tommy, I think, is kind of what it really boils down to. Is like, I think he is doing something that is so incredibly hard, both building an audience and keeping that energy, you know, and he's got a hard job, and just, it's so refreshing to see him. I remember seeing Phil once saying, like, you know, Tommy's gonna take the world by storm, and I fully agree. Like, I don't know what Tommy's gonna do next, but I do know that I'm gonna be there to watch, because it's gonna be entertaining, and it's gonna be just, yeah, it's just gonna be good. I really enjoy Tommy, and I know, you know, some people don't, and that's fine. Like, you can do whatever, but he's a good kid. He's a good kid. I love the captain's music. Yeah, he's got his music. He's good. We have to get some wheat going. This mod pack relies very heavily on a lot of wheat, because they have the chickens mod, and you just need a lot of wheat. You need so much of it, just so much wheat. Let's see, let's get some potatoes, why not? No, I don't need those. Carrot seeds, why not? We'll wait on those. Especially when some of the fans are the way there. True. You know, a lot of these streamers now have such big fandoms, and some of the fans are just, they don't know how to act. People don't know how to act, you know? Just, and it's like, you know, you think about it and you're like, you know, is that how you act in real life? Like, he's so strong being able to handle them all. True. Like, and you know, he does some dumb shit. I think he accidentally doxed himself recently, which is not great. Don't, Tommy, so not good. But I think it comes down to having a really good community, both of fans and of other friends, like other streamers, right? And I think the combination of those things make it really just a good environment overall for him, and I think it makes it easier. Easier just to do what you love. I enjoy their personalities, just can't handle loud noises. Yeah, that's fair. I definitely, I can't watch Tommy's videos, like, without just it being, like, one volume away from zero, right? He is a bit loud and bombastic, which, you know, it's also arguably really good if you kind of need that. And sometimes I find myself that I need just someone to just be, you know, loud and bright. That's just me personally, though. I find that sometimes helps, but sometimes I'm just like, you're a little too much for me today. I'm gonna go watch someone else. But I just kind of, you know, just do that quietly, and that's what I think people need to just do. Just like do. If you don't enjoy something, that's fine, but just, like, leave quietly. Leave quietly. You don't need to be the way that you are. Sorry, I'm just looking at all this stuff. Compacting drawer. Nope, I don't need any of that yet. All this stuff is kind of like need to get going on chickens first, but I'm not going to do that today, I don't think. Alright. I think I'm going to start winding down. If any of you guys have any, like, kind of lingering questions or anything for me, let me know. Have you ever heard of Dervacat? Man, I jam Dervacat almost every day at work. Yes. I love her music. I love both her, obviously her, like, Minecraft YouTuber stuff. I really, really like Win It All. If I could, like, choreograph, I think that would be such a fun thing to, like, perform at, like, a convention, like, at, like, for, like, a skit type of thing. Not a skit, but, like, you know, a performance. But I also really like some of her original songs, like the what's it called? New Year's Eve, I think the song is called. That one really, really speaks to me. I think that one's a really, really good one. Go give it a listen if you've only listened to her, like, fan songs, because she's got some good original music too. But yeah, okay. Alright. Are there any last things? Anything you want me to update on in terms of, you know, if you're asking, like, hey, when is this gonna come out, or when are you gonna do this? Etc. Like, you're free to ask those questions now. I don't know when I'll next stream. It sounds like maybe Ace Attorney might be kind of the next thing that we want to do. So maybe I'll come at that. I'm going to try and find someone who might want to do it with me, because I think that would be a really fun thing to do on the channel. But other than that, I am going to sign off for the night. Have a lovely evening or morning or whatever time of day it is for you. And I will see you all next time. Bye.